Okay, this is episode two of Hitting the Hard Court. There are only two of us today. There's me, my name is Fonz, and on the other side, we have Mike Cortez, a guy whose basketball opinion I respect very much.
Thank you,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, we're only going to discuss two topics today. We're going to keep it nice and short. We have Tim Duncan's retirement and Draymond Green's arrest. One very happy, one kind of sad. I mean, it's really up to you which one's a happy one, which one's a sad one. Uh, so, Mike, let's start off with Tim Duncan's retirement. I think we
Yeah.
both agree that he's one of the greatest ever. But like, where do you have him among the top 10 players of all time?
Well, here's the thing. I'd stretch it out into two different categories. I have the shooters and all the wings on one list, all the big men on the other for some reason. And I
Hmm.
have him penciled in at three just because I prefer him over Wilt.
Yeah,
But
same here.
I think it's on preference, but the longevity of this guy is ridiculous. I mean, 3 decades, 5 titles. He was pretty much did everything Kobe was praised for, just with 10 times less the attention and all the drama.
Yeah, and like I
Two,
feel like I mean a lot of people have been saying like this is the perfect Tim Duncan retirement, where it's just like just a random Monday during the summer. And
yep.
it's just like, yo, yeah, guys, I'm retiring. No need for the theatrics or the goodbye season. Very much a Tim Duncan and a very Spursy move by him.
Yeah, I think he knew at the by game 6 of the Thunder because he played. I'm pretty sure he was the only starter playing once it was a blowout. And at that point, I kind of knew.
Yeah, I mean, it really was just like it was really just a matter of time. If it wasn't going to be this summer, it's going to be next summer.
Yeah,
But the bigger question is where do the Spurs go from here? I know that like Tim wasn't a huge player for them this past year, but you know he's still, as we said, like one of the greatest players ever. They did sign Pau Gasol, but you know the Spurs had to get rid of a bunch of players to sign Pau. You know they got rid of Boris, Boban is gone.
mhm.
So do you think like the Spurs could still be a top three seed in the West, or with an aging roster, would they just probably focus more on just getting a nice, around the 6 or 7 seed and then just like really rest for the playoffs?
I think they're gonna do a New England Patriots rebuild where they build slowly. I think they're gonna slowly ease Kawhi into the Tim Duncan role, which I think he could fill. The only question mark for me is what he could do in the playoffs. But I want to see what he does in the locker room because I know Duncan, from a basketball standpoint, wasn't providing much in these last couple of years, but in the locker room, he had to be a huge influence. So I want to see how Kawhi handles it, how LaMarcus Aldridge handles being the only big guy. Powell's going to be big, but he's only going to be there for a couple of years, as is Parker and Ginobili. So I want to see what the next crop of Spurs is going to look like. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's exactly the same for me. It's really, they've been grooming Kawhi for the past few seasons to be the next superstar they have, and he's like on the floor, probably good enough to be, a guy who can ascend into the top five or well, at least a top 10, maybe top five among the league. He's a two-way player, already the best defensive player in the league. I mean, it's either him or LeBron, really.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just growing and growing and growing his offensive game. He already has a three. He can drive. He can do anything on the court. But yeah, it's really just I think he probably won't have to be like the leader as of yet because they still have Ginobili and Parker. Um, but they'll probably ask him to do a lot more. Like he'll probably be taking the last second shots at this point. It's either him or going to be LaMarcus probably. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
an
mean
interesting point.
it's going to be a really interesting time to see what the league will look like because this has been the summer of icons leaving their cities. Kobe retired. I mean, it feels like it's been forever since we talked about Kobe,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
he just retired. Duncan retired. Wade left Miami, and which is something I never thought would happen.
Mm-hmm.
And Durant left OKC. So four of the biggest superstars over the past 10 years or so have all left or retired. So yeah, I mean, I think we're really just seeing a change in the NBA. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. I want to see what the most interesting part for me is what's going to happen with Popovich because a couple years back he said once Timmy's gone, he's gone. So I want to see if he slowly starts easing in one of his top assistants, or if he decides I'll just go all in with Kawhi and see where that takes us.
Yeah, I mean, like the dynamic would probably just be the same, like a quiet superstar and Pop. Like,
Yeah,
there's no real
I
big
think it's a
change.
great fit still.
Yeah. Um, yeah, but like speaking of like the successor for Pop, I mean, they already have. I think lots of people have been saying Messina, who's their top assistant, would be the most logical conclusion. I mean, the dark horse obviously is Becky Hammond, which would be a
That
really
would be
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would be a really fun appointment. You know, first professional. I don't know if she's like would be the first professional woman coach.
Uh, Definitely for a male sport.
Yeah,
That would
but
be
like that would be just such a huge honor for her. And like I think if there's any woman who would be able to do it, it would be her. Like she's arguably already a top assistant in the league. So
Oh yeah,
why
she was
not?
great in the
Yeah,
summer league last year. That
exactly.
team, they were not the best summer league team, and they dominated.
Yeah, I mean the but speaking of summer league, what about the age of this roster, the Spurs roster? Do you think that'll really come into play? Because their biggest free agent acquisition was Pau,
Yeah,
who's up there in age already. He's not too far behind from retiring. And they brought back Ginobili. He's also really old. Parker's getting up there.
mhm.
And aside from Kawhi, we haven't really seen any young Spurs player develop properly. I mean, they have Kyle Anderson.
Yeah.
You know,
I
he's
think he's
good.
gonna have a. I think he's gonna have a good year. I don't know if he's ready to take a leap into like a starting role or main contributor, but I think he's gonna take a leap forward this year.
Yeah. Then they also have I think the draft pick this year was Murray,
Yeah,
who's a guard. Yeah, who I think is. I mean, obviously Spurs they can develop anybody, but he should be able to develop under their system. I guess they have like a weird St. Louis Cardinals type system, where it's
yeah,
just churning
exactly.
out one guy after another. And we also can't forget their international scouting. The Spurs have always been a team that has always had international superstars. From the French guys, you had Boris and Parker to Ginobili, Boban, even who
Yeah,
now with the Pistons.
Boban's gone. I was just about to ask that.
Yeah. Boban signed with the Pistons. He's going to be
Oh
the
wow.
backup for Drummond. Yeah,
Oh
two.
man,
That's
I
just
love
a,
that.
a big lineup. Like I don't know if they'd ever play together on the court because I just like kill spacing.
Yeah,
But I mean, the length that they have on that team now.
I
Yeah.
mean, just if like you have to guard an inbounds pass with 3 seconds left, just throw
Oh,
Boban and Drummond out there. My God.
yeah. I don't know. I kind of miss Boban on the Spurs already. Like
Oh yeah, I
he's just a
prefer.
fun guy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think Murray's going to slowly ease in. I think Parker and Ginobili, I think they're going to have to take over Duncan's role this year in terms of like the locker room. But I
Hmm.
expect Parker to really groom Murray this year because apparently he was a big steal in the draft. I haven't really got to see that much of him, but if he's anything as they're touting him as, I think they have their next point guard and they already have Kawhi. So interesting
Oh
to see
man.
what they're going to
Yeah. Another steal by the Spurs, of course.
do. They always get him
Not
at the end.
Yeah, not surprising at all. So is there anything else you want to talk about with the Spurs or?
Um, no, I think that's pretty
Yeah.
much it. Do you think Parker and Ginobili are? How many more years you got for them? I think Parker will stay a little longer than Ginobili. I think Ginobili's this is his last
Yeah.
year.
I mean, I think Ginobili, if Timmy announced his retirement at like the end of like when they lost to the Thunder, I think Ginobili probably would have retired as well.
Hmm.
That's just speculation, obviously. But yeah, I think this is just Ginobili's final year. He's been banged up forever with his style of play. And yeah, I think this is really just for him. Maybe it's one last shot. Why not? Why not try? And to be, well, it won't be the same without Duncan. It would still be a great run if he had like. I just want like one more vintage Shinobi performance. Where it's just like random weird passes and just him, crashing to the lane and making all these impossible layups. But for Parker, I think, yeah, I think as you said, he has a couple more years in him. I'd say anywhere from 2 to 3 after this season has ended. So yeah, I mean, because he's not Duncan and Ginobili, and I think to be a nice way to just really close the chapter
Mhm.
on the Big Three era for the Spurs with like either just him or him and Pop leaving at the same time.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Pop does. That's what I'm looking at the most right now. What do you? I think this really screws over the Thunder because I don't know what they were planning to do with Westbrook, but now they kind of have to like keep him and pray he resigns. So I think they were like gonna lean towards shipping him out if they came out the gate sluggish, but now they're a top 3 seed in my book, even without Durant. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is just preparing to sign Westbrook. I mean, the Heat could do it, right?
Yep.
Your Knicks could sign him, which would be amazing. The
Oh,
Porzingis Westbrook combination.
oh my God.
Yeah, would that be the pinnacle of Knicks fandom?
Oh,
That would definitely be like Linsanity, right?
oh, that would be Linsanity on steroids.
Oh
It
god,
would be ridiculous.
I find it funny to laugh at the Knicks because I know a few Knicks fans, but like I would actually get very like I'd be really happy if Westbrook signed with Porzingis.
Oh,
Just
my
just
biggest fear is that they try and trade for him. Like they try and trade Porzingis for Westbrook. That's my biggest fear as a Knicks fan. 'Cause they're stupid enough to do it.
I mean yeah, that's the sad reality. I mean,
But
yeah, that would be a fun front line though if that actually happened. You'd have for the Thunder, you'd have Adams and Porzingis. You
oh
know,
my God, that'd
yeah,
be a
like the
great.
yeah that would be like the most interesting both on and off the court front court you could ever come up with.
Oh, they could experiment Porzingis in 10,000 different ways.
Exactly. Ugh. Okay, enough dreaming. Enough dreaming for us. We can't predict the future, as this summer has shown. There's no point in trying to predict where superstars will end up or where players will sign or who gets traded to wherever. I mean, Joe Johnson's with the Jazz. Like, who would have ever thought that?
Definitely not me.
Yeah, shout out to the Jazz. I think they're going to be good this year.
Hmm.
Okay, moving on to our second topic. Yeah, so this would get a lot of Warriors haters happy, but I don't think given the facts, I don't think it's really an issue. Draymond Green got arrested recently for an altercation in his home state of Michigan. He was released on bail, but he doesn't have to appear in court, which is honestly a good thing, given that I think USA training camp is going to start soon. Team USA training camp is going to
Hmm.
start soon. So yeah, like I mean, I don't know if you have anything else to add to the
I
arrest
wasn't
story.
really sure. Did they say what happened? I know the bail was $200, so I knew it had to be like a misdemeanor assault at the best. Like you probably slapped
Yeah,
somebody.
so I think from what I've read, it was at a nightclub, and I think there was a guy just bothering Green or whatever, and Green's personality. We've all seen it. He punches people in the nuts,
Yeah.
and he basically, I think he slapped this guy, and basically caused a kerfuffle, and yeah, he was arrested because I think
Oh,
he was the one who struck first. I guess. Yeah,
yeah. ESPN treated it like he like shot somebody.
yeah,
Like
but
I was nervous they
he
was gonna
did
miss
not.
games.
Yeah, he did not. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's still news because not only because it's an NBA player, but in particular because it's Draymond Green, one of the most fiery and most intense players in the league. But let's say he didn't like kill somebody. Let's say he crashed his car into a tree and he broke his leg or something like that.
Hmm.
And like he missed. Like let's just say he missed the entire 2016-2017 season. How good do you think the Warriors would still be? Would they
Uh,
be the number one seed still, or would they be around that, competing, 1, 2, or 3?
well, I think I still have them at one because right now, I mean, I say this every year with the West, but to me, the West is wide open outside of the
Yeah,
Warriors. Like if the Warriors were to somehow fall, all hell would break loose. Like you'd have the Trailblazers, even the Clippers will climb up there, and the Jazz you mentioned. So he needs to stay healthy because he's not the best player anymore. Like he's probably their fourth best player, like talent wise. But I think
Hmm.
he's easily the heart of that team. Like you can't have him miss extended time
Yeah,
whatsoever.
exactly. I mean, I think, as you said, like Curry and KD and Clay are, just by far well, not by far, but they're better players just in terms of sheer talent. But I still think that Draymond is the most irreplaceable player on the team because without him, you can't play the death lineup.
Hmm.
Like you could stick Livingston in for Curry for a few games and you'd be able to survive. We saw that when they played the Rockets, but
Hmm.
without Draymond, they'd have to put in. They can't play. You can't play KD at the five. That's just that he just won't be able to hold up in the
Yeah.
post. And they'd have to play Zaza or McAdoo or Jones at the five, which really would just kill all the spacing and the passing that Draymond offers.
Yep.
Do you agree that he's like? Yeah, you agree that yeah, he's the most irreplaceable player. Um, but after Draymond, who do you think it is?
Irreplaceable. I would honestly say Clay because I love Curry,
Mhm.
but Clay and Draymond are the best. Their best two-way guys. Because Iggy's
Yeah.
one of the. I think Iggy's their best one-on-one defender, but he can't shoot that much anymore. And
Mhm.
KD's. I think the jury's still on KD's defense. I think he's personally gonna hit his defensive peak while he's with the Warriors. So this is gonna change. But as of right now, Clay, in terms of like you can't replace him.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the evolution of Clay has been one of the more fascinating aspects of this Warriors, the rise of the Warriors, because I remember with the Mark Jackson team, I just like endless Clay, he'd post somebody up and then shoot a fadeaway, and you're just like, what are you doing? Like Mark Jackson, you like this guy has obviously has some talent, but like why are you making him play this way? Um, so yeah, I mean, I still think Clay is probably the most awkward superstar in the league. He's a Harry Potter fan, which I really respect.
Really?
Um, I love Harry Potter.
No, no, you
Uh,
no, Clay. That's funny.
yeah, but yeah, he's a big Harry Potter fan. Dressed up in a costume when he was in high school, I think. But like, yeah, when he dunks and he does like his little fired up dance, like I still think it just looks really weird.
Yeah,
But enough about my weird Clay
Clay fan.
observations. Yeah, Clay theism. I'm a believer.
Do you think he took
Um,
that leap last in the play? I thought he's the best shooting guard going into next season.
oh yeah, I mean, obviously, if Draymond, not Draymond, if Harden actually cared about defense, I think he still would be because he's one of the best offensive players in the league.
Yeah.
But Clay proved, in the playoffs and throughout last season that he is not on the level of Durant or Curry or LeBron, obviously, but
Mhm.
he's really approaching the tier below because with like the Blakes and the Draymond and stuff.
Mhm.
Because as you said, he's one of the best shooting guard in the league. It's probably him or Jimmy Butler at this point. But
Yeah.
the fact that Clay, he's a smart passer um, when he's not driving to the rim because he just puts it on his head and doesn't see passing lanes that well. Um, but he just like when he gets hot, we've all seen it over the past few seasons. Like you literally can't do anything to stop him. It's amazing. Like Curry, it's a lot of fun because Curry does all these little dances and stuff like that, and like he shoots
Yeah.
from really far away. But with Clay, it's really just he turns into a robot where it's just, oh, okay, another free shot, I'll just take it. Okay, it goes in again. Oh, you guys are leaving me open again. Oh, yeah, there's another 3 point. And it's really just he's so willing to do. He's as since he's a shooter, he's got the Cal Corver role of just like running around picks and stuff. But I
Mhm.
think he's really evolved from that into becoming a guy who can drive when he wants to. Obviously, still not the best, but he has added all these different aspects to his game to make him much more than just a shooter.
Mhm. How scary do you think it is for other teams to know that on any given night, Curry, Clay, and Durant could each go off for a hot streak of 20 plus points in a quarter? That would scare the living shit out of me.
Yeah, I mean it would just be like it'd just be such like a deflating thing. Like let's say I don't know, like if you're the Bucks and you're playing them closely, it's like the middle of the third quarter. and then it's like the score is like what 70-70, and then you just like one possession, Curry shoots a three. The next possession, Clay shoots a three. The third possession, Durant just like has a big dunk. I just think that'd just be such a momentum killer for any team because it'll always be in the back of your head that we can't let up.
Mhm.
There's no way that we can have one bad possession because when we do, it'll be a fast break, it'll be an open three or a dunk. They'll start getting fired up, they'll start getting confident,
Mhm.
and then it'll just be an avalanche of points, which will
Yep.
be it'll be really fun to watch as a Warriors fan.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm definitely buying League Pass this year just to watch them because I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's going to be basketball Nirvana.
yeah. I mean, I think the season overall is just going to be a really fun season. Partly because of all the moves we've had and all the changes that have happened over the past 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, but really, just the fact that if we always have injuries, but if a lot of superstars stay healthy, I think the West is, as we've said, it's going to be wide open. You have the Warriors at the top, but then with Timmy retiring and a lot of changes for the Spurs, are they going to be number two? Can the Thunder rally from the loss of Durant, and will Westbrook just like eviscerate everyone in his path? And then you have the other teams like the Grizzlies with Gasol and Conley, the Clippers they just re-signed everybody, so they didn't really change. But then Jazz, who third time we've mentioned the Jazz, really like
Yeah, no, I
major
think the
shout out
Jazz
to
are going to be really good. I
yeah,
think they're
same
going to be
here.
like, at least.
Yeah, you got the Pelicans. Can Anthony Davis carry the team finally? Because he's had a rough start, and then everybody's favorite team, new young team, the Timberwolves.
Oh,
But yeah, like how fun is the West going to be this year,
an
right?
ideal first round playoff matchup is Warriors Wolves, where the Warriors win in 5 games, but we start to see like how the Thunder faced the Lakers
Oh
back in
yeah,
'08. They took them to they
yeah.
gave them like the toughest 5 games. I want to see it like that.
Uh, oh, it's gonna be so much fun. Like, and then we just see a picture of you got Towns, you got Wiggins, and you got I don't know Levine or Rubio, just
Mhm.
like arms, just like holding each other up, just like how the
Yep,
Thunder did.
on the bench. Yeah,
Oh, oh, that's gonna be so great. I can't like I thought I had a little basketball fatigue towards the end of the season where I was just like I've been watching a lot of basketball. Like I think I'm ready for it to be done. But this
Mhm.
off season, like I'm just all the way back in.
Oh, it
I just
recharges.
can't wait. Yeah, I
Free
mean,
agency always does that.
yeah, we'll have the Olympics to help us to tide us over for a bit. Watching Team USA just dominate opponents.
I want to see what they
Um,
do this year because this it's not going to be it's not the same usual. We're sending our Titans over there. We're sending a couple soldiers instead of
I
gods.
don't know. They got Draymond. Like if like as long as you have him on the team, like they're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I
They're
think
just
George is going to go off too. Paul George.
oh yeah. I mean yeah, Paul like a lot of Paul George just like angrily dunking at the rim, just being like, "You cost me a year of my career." What like I think yeah, Paul George though, what a guy! Like I think he's one of the best players in the league, honestly.
Yeah, I'm interested to see
Yeah,
what he does this year because I think he was a little pissed off about losing to the Raptors, like how they did.
yeah. Eh, it's can't wait. I don't know, man. This season though, like
Yeah,
I'm just reaching like peak boredom because the Euros just ended, so soccer's done, and then
yeah.
but
We
then
got to hold off
at least
too.
we'll have yeah, and then there's just baseball, which I don't know. I just can't watch a full baseball game anymore.
Yeah, me neither. And I used to
Yeah,
love it, which is sad.
yeah, just playoff baseball though. I still like playoff baseball.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Um,
summer league's been holding it down kind of. The Lakers have been
oh
really
yeah,
good.
shout out to
Devin
Thon
Booker.
Maker.
Oh my God,
And
Tom Nick, what a beast!
I know.
I don't know if he's
See, okay,
35 yet or whatever, but
yeah. Last topic, Thon Maker. Like nobody thought he was like going like obviously just a summer league, so not the hardest competition out there. But for him to have double doubles and stuff this early on, and
yeah,
we're not
I
sure
think
about his age,
one
whatever.
game
But
he had
like
17 and 7, right? 17 and
yeah,
17. That's
exactly.
ridiculous.
But like to be scoring well and to be rebounding well, against guys who are not exactly NBA level talent, but guys who are in the D League or whatever,
Hmm.
is still impressive. Coming
Yeah,
from
absolutely.
uh, wherever he came from, didn't even go to college technically. But yeah, summer league. I should start watching more summer league. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. At least with
It's like,
The Lakers are probably the best watch right now because they have Russell and Ingram. But
oof,
every game I've been watching, and Devin Booker's actually must see TV as well. I must throw
yeah.
that in there. Yeah, he's
I
been.
mean,
He looks like I
I
thought he
read.
was going to be like beta version of Klay Thompson, but I think he's actually going to be better because he's way younger and getting better at a very faster rate.
Yeah, I mean, like I just turned 21 in April, and it's like reached a point where all these guys are getting drafted are younger than me. It's just like, what am I doing? What
Hits
am
us
I
all
doing? Like
up.
these guys are getting millions, like playing against LeBron James and stuff, like leading the team in Booker's case, and I'm just like sitting in my dorm room, just being like, God, what? I got
It's
to do
funny.
something.
I watched Carl
Yeah,
Towns destroy my high school team when I was in college, and then I saw him get drafted. I was like, "Geez, I feel so old."
yeah. I mean, God, I mean, we're it. Yeah, we're getting the older we get, like the more we'll realize. Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's really young. Um. So yeah.
Sky's the
Anything
limit.
else? Yeah, sky's the limit for.
No. The Knicks signed Sasha Vujicic, so I might jump off the building. Aside from that, I'm good.
Gotta believe they got he's the backup point guard. Well, he's a backup to the backup to the backup because Rose will
He's the backup
probably
point.
Rose will probably fall over at some point and break everything. And Brandon Jennings is Brandon Jennings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
be a
saw
Knicks
I
summer
saw
without this stupid move.
exactly. See, I mean, you thought okay, Noah, that's a pretty good. Like, probably could have gotten him for less, but it's okay. Rose,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, it's a short deal. Jennings, okay, that's insurance. And then like I feel like Phil has just got to be like, let me just get like one thing that'll make fans just laugh.
Yeah, I could definitely see Phil troll. Phil's a very good troll. I don't know if you guys catch as many stupid Phil stories out there, but he is quite the troll.
I mean, one of the most interesting men to ever uh, be in the league.
Yes, very big character.
Yeah, huge character. Characters welcome. Shout out to USA. Um, okay, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think the summer league should end by the weekend, so we could cover that on Saturday.
Nice.
Um,
Pretty
anything
good.
else?
We're ending on a Knicks note, which is
Um,
which is fun. Oh, it's always good to end with talking about the Knicks. Always a good sign. Always makes people laugh. So, yep, that's it for this edition of Hitting the Hard Court. Once again, my name is Fonz. You can catch me on Twitter at FonzYap. I don't really tweet anything. I haven't ever tweeted anything, but if people start following me, I might start tweeting more instead of just writing everything on Slack. Um, and yeah, and just posting the Kenny Smith "It's Over" video. What about you, Mike? Where can people
you can
find you?
find me at Cortez Era on all platforms. So hit the follow button, like button, whatever you shall choose.
Exactly. Okay, so with that, we say goodbye, and we'll see you guys on Saturday.
See ya.